Hello Cancer, Cancer Rising, and Cancer Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting May 1st, 2017. And a quick reminder for you Cancer people out there, remember, if you do ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go to my website, integrativemysticism.com, or you can just follow the links below, where you can schedule a session or order a downloadable video file. Now, I do have a new deck of cards for the tarot, so I'm really excited to show that off, but first let's talk about the astrology. Now, if you saw your monthly astrology horoscopes, you know that Mercury goes direct this week on Tuesday/Monday overnight. And it's going to actually be moving up ever closer to a conjunction with Uranus by the end of the week, and this is all happening in your 10th house of career. And when Mercury and Uranus come together, there's a sudden alteration that is unprecedented, that actually could promote or boost your stature in the workplace this week much quicker than you could have expected. Even some of you who may have recently gotten hired or maybe even gotten a promotion may find another growth spurt opportunity happening very, very quickly, even though we may have already had it. For those of you who are just curious about money in general, there may be an additional payout on something you've even gotten paid for already. We also have on Wednesday the Sun in Taurus in your 11th house of friendships and social networking, forming a gorgeous connection to Neptune in your 9th house, Pisces. Your 9th house talking about, government legal proceedings, higher education, as well as long-distance travel, broadcasting, and the expansion of your personal horizons. And a close friend may actually have an opportunity to maybe even bridge the gap between you and them through some kind of trip. There may be a move, somebody moving closer to you, or possibly even an opportunity for the two of you to get closer, expanding your horizons and maybe some kind of new academic or spiritual pursuit that will be also on the table. So, what is going on with your cards then this week? Well, for your spiritual advice, we've got the Fairy Norn. And the Fairy Norn talks about, almost always, a need to be allowing of a bigger team in your life, okay? Being more inclusive. If you've been a little bit of a lone wolf lately, maybe it's time to start including more people, in your personal plans, your personal agendas, and all of those kinds of things. In fact, the Fairy Norn can often talk about a need to see where there's a need for other people to kind of be putting in their unique flavor. Not saying anything bad about you, but with the Fairy Norn it can talk about, where have we been playing it too solo, lately? Maybe we need to include our partner in some of the things that our partner's not normally involved in. Maybe we need to include more of our friends. The Fairy Norn is talking about, teamwork is actually going to be much stronger towards getting the job done for you, because that social availability also gives you consideration this week. Alright, when we talk about consideration, you want to be the first person people think of, you want to be the first person people insist on inviting, or you just want to actually be, a part of their world as well, because the Fairy Norn can talk about possibilities and opportunities coming through those avenues. So we need to be focusing on, sort of reopening those, those conversations, with folks, even if we've been kind of, again, playing it solo, being the independent one with their own thing. This week may be a time to open up for teamwork. I said that a million times, didn't I? For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Hermit inverted. And the Hermit card inverted is kind of a neat card to get, because it does talk a lot about, again, people kind of coming out of the woodwork for you, or perhaps even you getting discovered in some way, because the Hermit card does talk about pulling people out of the shadows, pulling people out of obscurity. This may be, again, some kind of bigger consideration for those of you looking for a new job, or looking for a way to increase your funds, or increase your status at the workplace, to promote yourself, because all of a sudden you're kind of getting that, that first pick sort of energy. And a lot of this could, again, be because of that Mercury conjunct Uranus, but the Hermit card reverse is saying, be prepared. You're going to be getting things that you don't necessarily think you deserve, or you didn't even actually vocally ask for. However, with the Hermit card reverse, it's important to pay attention to when people are coming out of the woodwork for you, or asking you to come out of the woodwork for them. Say yes, because you may actually find that, again, this is a faster way to get yourself climbing up that ladder. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, and the others in your life, we do have the Two of Cups upright. The Two of Cups always talks about an opportunity to actually get closer and tighten and strengthen an emotional bond. But with the Two of Cups upright here is also saying that, you know, maybe we've been needing some kind of backup. Maybe we've been needing somebody who we can sort of confide in. If we've been feeling like we don't have support in a situation with, you know, with our friends or with our relatives, where either people aren't necessarily understanding, they're not willing to hear us out, or maybe we're just looking for somebody else who shares the same observation or opinions. You know, the Two of Cups is basically saying that is going to be made known. You may find that somebody is, you know, willing to follow in your example and start speaking their mind. The Two of Cups upright can also indicate here, you know, an opportunity for, you know, you to maybe even start bridging a gap between you and a person that you've become a bit distanced from, whether it's, you know, a friend or even a romantic potential. However, with the Two of Cups, it's also important to understand that the biggest message is clearing the air, you know, and not putting on any more airs, especially when it comes to how do we, you know, because sometimes we do that to be liked, we do that to look good. Not necessary with the Two of Cups upright. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Ace of Wands reversed. And the Ace of Wands reversed as a challenge is basically saying, you know, Cancer, it's very important to pay attention to where, you know, we gotta stop trying to make the same thing work when it doesn't work anymore. Alright, because the Ace of Wands reverse can warn against burnout, but sometimes burnout just comes from doing things repetitively. Using the same tool too much. Using the same order of operations too much. You know, not actually, you know, realizing where things have become more fixed, more stagnant because it's wash, rinse, and repeat. You know, when I see, you know, I mean, even for me, I got new cards because, you know what, I burn out on the imagery. I start to notice when things are, you know, it's like, okay, Nico, we've got maybe a month more with this deck, it's time to get a new one. Because it's going to give different messages, it's going to talk a different way, but also, even on a mental health note, it's just better for everybody to be able to kind of keep that flowing, keep your brain actually working on processing new things. And the Ace of Wands reverse can also indicate here, well, maybe a problem that we're trying to solve through what we consider to be conventional means will just never be solved by conventional means. And so it's time to actually be able to understand where have we been doing a lot of wash, rinse, and repeat, whether it's, you know, again, with our relationships, with our jobs, with our health, you know, even when it comes to your physical exercise. You know, if you're going to tone up or bulk up or lose weight, you've got to vary your movements. You can't just do one exercise constantly. And so your challenge this week is finding out where you may have been doing that on accident, or admitting when you've been doing it on purpose. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we have the High Priestess upright. And the High Priestess, in this instance, I'm getting a feeling of somebody actually kind of volunteering to be the go-between for you in a lot of situations where you need a go-between. Maybe you need somebody to get a message, you know. Sometimes it's easier for our partner to hear something from somebody else than us. Don't need to take it personally, that just happens in life. Sometimes it's not even somebody volunteering to do that. Maybe it's a setup, you know. Sometimes this can be seen as a matchmaker card. You know, whether that matchmaker is somebody trying to set you up, if you're single and looking, or maybe even somebody who just simply sets up a situation that you need to be available for so you can meet a certain somebody there. But the High Priestess upright is indicating somebody who is well aware of a chemistry or a spark or some kind of communication that they can help facilitate for you. And again, with the spirit of the Fairy Norn, cooperation and teamwork, you might want to actually let them try it their way. So that is your horoscope, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.